Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Open by Andre Agassi. In this memoir, Andre Agassi recounts his early years in Las Vegas. His father, that is Mike Agassi, was so much obsessed in making Andre Agassi a tennis champion. And he says that this subjected him to a relentless training regimen. That is, he was training all the 24 hours. And Andre's three older siblings endured a similar regimen. That is, his father was like that to all his children. But since Andre was the most talented, most of his father's attention was only on him. And his father created the Dragon, a ball machine modified to fire fast and high. And Andre hated tennis and he had no desire to be a champion, but loved his father, and at the same time he also feared his father's violent tendencies. And when his father gave him speed to enhance his tournament performance, Andre wantedly played poorly. Mike sent Andre to Nick Bolletier's tennis academy in Florida. And Andre hated the prison like academy, which actually enforced a grueling regimen. And he also attended a local school in the mornings, and students played tennis until bedtime. And Andre's father could afford the academy fees only for 3 months, but Nick saw and recognized Andre's talent, and so he agreed to coach him for free. And Andre disliked school even more than the academy, and because he did not have time to study, he could not keep up with the curriculum also. And so he rebelled by getting a pink mohawk and ear piercings. And when he wore toned dungarees, eyeliner, and earring while playing a tournament, Nick, in front of everyone, shamed him and added more chores, that is, work for him. And already he had a very exhausting schedule, and this was really very pressurizing him. And Andre wanted to leave the academy and come, but they did not allow him to leave. And when Andre won a giant stuffed panda at a theme park, Nick wanted to buy it from him so that he can give to his younger daughter. So Andre, on the advices of his best friend Perry Rogers, used this panda and negotiated with Nick to quit school and enter more tournaments. And Andre turned professional at age 16, and feeling that he had no other options, and Philly, his older brother and a very close friend of his, accompanied him to all the tournaments. A lucrative sponsorship deal with Nick made Andrew infamous for his rebellious image and long hair, because most of his fans started to dress like him, while the media accused him of attention seeking. But in reality, Andre's long hair and a hairpiece actually tried to disguise the premature balding which was happening to him. And all his external bravado actually was a mask not to show his internal struggle with self identity. And during 1986 and 1987, Andre traveled worldwide playing in three of the major Grand Slam tournaments, that is, the US Open, French Open, and Wimbledon. And he adapted to play on clay and grass but disliked Wimbledon's formal regulations. In Paris, at the Louvre, he identified with a painting of a young man on a cliff edge carrying an old man with a sack of money on his back. In the late 1987, the 17-year-old Andre won his first professional tournament in Brazil, and in 1988 he was on the winning Davis Cup team. He was ranked 4th in the world, and he consistently reached the quarterfinals or semifinals in major tournaments. When he appeared in the 1989 Canon Image is Everything ad, the press suggested the slogan summed up Andre as a player. His deluge of fan mail actually included photos of naked women. And Andre's fitness vastly improved under trainer Gil Raines, who became a close friend and almost like a father like figure and an integral member of his support network. Andre bet his two major professional rivals, Jim Courier and Michael Chang, in the 1990 French Open, making the final for the first time. However, just before the match, his airpiece disintegrated and Philly clipped strands into place, but Andre lost in the final because he was distracted by the possibility of his hairpiece falling off. In the US Open final, he lost to Pete Sampras, a player he had never considered serious competition. Andre's achievements reflected his vacillation between a desire to win matches and at the same time there was a lack of motivation. He lost to Courier in 1991 French Open final but won the Davis Cup final wearing Oakley sunglasses to disguise a hangover. In 1992, he won his first major title as Wimbledon champion. He was briefly elated, but this effect did not last longer. He missed the hard court session due to wrist injury and he was devastated when his girlfriend Wendy broke up with him. In 1993, he was Wimbledon's lowest seeded defending champion ever and lost in the second round. The press now focused on his new girlfriend Barbara Streisand, who was 20 years his senior. After his wrist surgery, Andre began dating actor Brooke Shields. In 1994, Andre hired coach Brad Gilbert, who focused on a psychological approach to matches. Entering the US Open unseeded, Andre won the tournament. After Brooke persuaded him to shave his head, he also won the 1995 Australian Open, beating Sampras and achieving the #1 world ranking. In 1995, after defeating Andre in the Wimbledon final, Boris Becker claimed in an interview that other players on the tennis circuit disliked Agassi. Vowing revenge, Andre experienced a winning streak, successfully winning 20 matches and 4 tournaments. He beat Becker in the 1995 US Open semifinals. However, when he lost to Sampras in the final, all his former achievements seemed worthless. Convinced that Sampras would always beat him and plagued by injuries, Andre experienced many early round losses in 1996 and 1997. He failed to reach any Grand Slam finals and was repeatedly penalized for swearing and skipping compulsory press conferences. He hit a career low when his ranking slipped to 141st and he was dropped from the Davis Cup team. At the time, Brooks' career resurged after guest appearance in the sitcom Friends. Andre watched the episode being recorded but stormed off and smashed his trophies when Brooke was required to lick the character Joey's hand. With his assistant Slim, who was a regular drug user, Andre used crystal methamphetamine. Despite having reservations about his relationship with Brooke, he proposed to her and they married in 1997. Brad insisted that Andre either quit or dedicate himself to winning. He recommended to his career but faced likely suspension after failing a drug test. He lied to the Association of Tennis Professionals, claiming he inadvertently drank a soda spiked with crystal methamphetamine. The ATP accepted his explanation. Andre resumed his tennis career from the bottom, entering challenger tournaments. He and Perry founded a charity to establish a school for underprivileged inner city children, and the desire to raise money for it remotivated his career. He and Brooke attempted to save their failing marriage by vacationing to islands, but eventually they divorced. The most successful period of Andre's career was 1998 to 2003. In 1999, he reclaimed the #1 world ranking and won the French Open, the Grand Slam title, and all this eluded him. At the 2001 Australian Open, he won his 7th Grand Slam, and after pursuing German women's tennis champion Steffi Graf, Andre married her in 2001. They had a son, Jaden, in 2002 and a daughter, Jazz, in 2003. Between 2004 and 2006, because of recurring injuries and excruciating pain from herniated discs in his spine, Andre increasingly relied on cortisone injections between matches. His contemporaries Courier, Chang and Sampras retired, but Andre dismissed suggestions that he should do so. Though newcomers like Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer increasingly defeated him, he accepted losses stoically since his family and charitable work were his priorities. In 2006, at age 36, Andre announced he would retire after the US Open. His second round match against Marcos Bacatatis was a grueling 5-set battle, but Andre eventually won. Observing Andre's pain, Mike Agassi begged him to withdraw from the tournament. However, Andre insisted on continuing and lost in the third round. Upon his retirement, commentators observed how Agassi's persona had changed. However, Andre reflected that he had simply learned who he was. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box, like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.